If you have young children and you're thinking of taking them on a cruise, you're going to want to watch this. In this video, I'm going to give you 6 tips on what to bring when cruising with young children, which worked really well for me and my family. Now, I recently took my wife and my 16-year-old daughter and 2.5-year-old son on a 7-night cruise on the Discovery Princess to Alaska. That was a lot of fun. But, before going, I needed to figure out how to make sure we had a place for our little one to sleep and enough space that was comfortable enough for all of us to roam around without waking up my son while he's taking his nap or going to bed. Well, tip number 1, get connecting rooms. Now, this tip may only apply if you have more people than a room can accommodate, and may not work for everyone who's on a budget. But if you can do it, I highly recommend getting connecting rooms so you have enough bathrooms, for one thing, that you can use, and a place that you can all hang out while your little one naps and goes to bed. Now, we splurged a little bit and got 2 connecting deluxe balcony rooms so we can still enjoy being outside, since it was difficult to go up on deck all the time when he's napping and during his bedtime. Well, this at least gave us a nice experience of being outside so we can enjoy the view and the sea air. Now, if you're considering this option, book early enough, as they have a limited number of connecting rooms on most cruise ships. I think Disney Cruise might be an exception because they obviously cater to families, and so I think most rooms are actually connecting rooms. Well, you can check out the staterooms to see which ones have connecting rooms on the deck maps ahead of time, so you know which stateroom to select when you do your booking. Now, tip number 2, bring an umbrella or a compact stroller. Do not bring your full-size jogger or Nuna stroller or whatever it is that you use that you take around the parks and the trails or the mall or whatever, or wherever. Well, the reason is because the staterooms on a cruise ship are quite small, and the hallways are narrow, more narrow than you would see in a hotel room. So you need a stroller that packs up small enough that you can store away in your room and out of the way, basically. And you want it to be light and portable, especially when you're going out onto the excursions or just visiting on shore. The one we used is the GB Pocket Air All-Terrain Ultra Compact Lightweight Stroller. So this one's super compact. It folds up small enough that you can fit it into a bag and carry it on your back. Now, just so you know, you probably won't need to use your stroller that often on the cruise itself, except if you have a younger toddler or one that really doesn't walk a lot or long distances, that you can have just with you if you go to dinner and they pass out while they're at dinner. That's probably one of the only times you'll really use it on the cruise ship. We didn't use our stroller much at all, actually, on the cruise ship, since our son was active and likes to walk around. So we only really used it when we went onshore. And it's also really great when you get onto the tender. The tender is that boat that takes you on shore when the cruise ship is not docked right at the shore. So we would be able to take him down into the gangway, fold up that stroller, and then get onto the tender without it actually taking up much space. So total space saver, highly recommend the GB Pocket Air, or there are a lot on the market for cruises. For just your standard umbrella stroller might be sufficient. Now, tip number 3. That's 3. Create a separate sleeping space. Now, you're going to thank me for this one. So just so you know, the walls and the ceilings in the stateroom are made of metal. So that's perfect for hanging curtains and other items with the heavy-duty magnetic hooks. So I'd recommend getting some that hold a lot of weight, like something about 80 pounds. So you can really put those heavy-duty blackout curtains hanging across in between your sleeping space from your bed to, if there's a little living room space, you can separate that into a bedroom, and then that's where you can have his sleeping area completely separated. And if you have a balcony unit like we did, they have blackout curtains already at the balcony door. So we basically just closed off the other side of it and made it into a separate room. So recommend getting curtains that are 84 inches in height. So that covers the whole floor to ceiling height, and that works perfectly. And then the curtain width should be roughly, or each panel should be at least 52 to 54 inches wide. So ours was 52 inches, and the one I got from Amazon came actually with two panels as one package at 52 inches wide each panel and 84 inches in length. So there was a little bit of space at the side by the wall where we had our curtain, but that wasn't enough to too much light in. So it worked out quite nicely. So I also brought these smaller hooks, magnetic hooks that support about 25 pounds. So this is great if you want to hang a hat or you want to hang, if you have lanyards, like in the Princess Cruise, they give you the lanyards with the medallion for your key and all that. So you can just hang that at the doorway. So when you're on the way out, you don't forget it. It's hanging right there. So it's nice to have those extra hooks just in case. But also the hooks work really well with it in the bathroom. So if you've got your toiletry bag, laundry bag, things that you want to hang around, the bathrooms are quite small. So you want to make sure you have enough space to put things not just on the counter, but if you have the toiletry bag that hangs, get the heavy duty magnetic hooks in there. There's some metal on the trimming around the door. The bathroom walls aren't entirely metal, so I had to find certain areas that had metal to put the hooks on. So just to keep that in mind. So tip number 4, and this connects to the sleeping space. So bring a portable crib. So you just never know like how much they have on board. So at times you don't want to show up on the cruise where they've run out of cribs even though you booked ahead. There's no more cribs available because they accommodated more kids than originally anticipated when you booked. So the one we got was the Guava Lotus Travel Crib. So this one lays on the floor, so you don't have to worry too much about the weight limits in this case. And then it has a little mattress that comes with it, just a thin one, but it was enough for my toddler. Actually, he didn't complain. He actually was fine, and he fell asleep, right away, just without any issues. So this is also really nice as a portable crib to tuck away. So if you want, during the daytime when he's awake, you could tuck it away, just behind the side of the sofa. So it's good enough to make some space when you need it, and then bring it back out when it's time for a nap or bedtime. So I really like this crib. So I think definitely highly recommend it. You can get other ones that are similar, but anything that is portable should do. Just the tip is really just to make sure that you plan ahead with this because they have pack and plays on the cruise ships, but they're not always available. So you just want to make sure you're prepared. Now, tip number 5: bring a portable humidifier. Now, the air on a cruise ship in the rooms are quite dry. So if your child is sensitive to dry air, like ours is, so this will be a total lifesaver. So our son actually had a bloody nose in his first nap when we were on the cruise because we didn't turn on the humidifier. So after that, we made sure that it was on, like, and he was completely fine the rest of the trip. No more bloody noses the rest of the time. So definitely recommend. The one that we got is called a Geniani portable small cool mist humidifier. So this one, it just has to be on for a few hours. It'll actually shut off on its own when it's run out of water. Um, but it's super handy. It's pretty compact and definitely something that you want to bring on. Not even just for your toddler or your child. Definitely for yourself as well if you're sensitive to dry air. So definitely handy. Get a couple to put in the room. And finally, tip number 6: bring one or two of the small power strips for extra outlets. Now, there aren't a lot of outlets in the stateroom, so there's probably, I think, there were 2 outlets or 2 pairs of outlets on the desk. So there weren't any scattered around. There's a USB outlet that was on the lamp on each side of the bed and the nightstand. But definitely bring your own outlets because especially if you're bringing all these other things like a sound machine if your child uses one, the monitor for the camera to monitor them when they're sleeping, the humidifier that I just mentioned earlier. So if you're bringing a portable humidifier for your child, you want that in the same space. So just imagine all these things you've got to plug in, and then chargers for your watch, for your your phone and other things that you have that you want to plug in, you're going to run out of outlets fairly quickly. So highly recommend at least bring at least two of them, because I know you're not going to charge everything during the same time of the day, but you're going to want to have at least two in your room, just so you can accommodate all the things that you have. And this one comes with USB ports as well, so it helps with, it has two outlets and two USB ports on each. I just brought one, but two might be handy to have around, because we had two rooms, so we had another desk that had outlets, so we were okay with the two rooms. But if you just have the one room, bring probably two is recommended. Well, that's all I have. So just to recap, tip number one, if you can do it, get the connecting rooms. Number two, bring an umbrella or compact stroller. Number three, create a separate sleeping space for your toddler. Number four, bring a portable crib. And number five, bring a portable humidifier. And number six, bring one or two small power strips for extra outlets. Well, hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please definitely like down below and subscribe if you want to see more tips or helpful information on anything around for small spaces or for safety around the house. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Happy sailing. Bye bye.